on, let's count it down. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I never listen. I'm gonna listen.
I got a lot of emails about that one over the years, boys.
Why?
People were very upset.
You didn't put them on TV.
I did not.
Thanks, Blake.
Your decision.
That's my. That I would always say. I'm just replaying.
It's not my fault that your dad can't count backward.
Yeah. Anyway, hey guys.
What's up?
Not Happy New Year yet. I got to take this hat off.
You tried.
You made it 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If that.
Let's go.
What do you have so many beanies?
He's got a Mavs and a Cavs.
Santa?
Just depends how I'm feeling right now. Right now, I'm feeling kind of Luka.
You look good.
Hey, thanks, man.
Is that a new shirt?
It is a new shirt.
Blake got new pants.
Oh, look at you. Got a
Look at us
little
all
lumberjack
rolling in
shirt.
here in our new fits.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know about y'all,
Post-Christmas.
but all I got for Christmas was clothes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, did you just already pick them out ahead of time and just give them to yourself like I did?
No.
Or at least you got to open them? And
It's just no one knows what to get me, so they just get me a Nike pullover.
Do you guys know what an iPad costs now?
I'm going to go 5.
Yeah, for like a new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. Unless you get the iPad Pro, which is like $1,000 probably.
What'd you get?
I bought my wife an iPad because I've come pretty weak on the gifts over the last handful of years. And it's kind of a family gift. The kid plays with it. And they have it set up where the old ones can't update
Yeah.
to the new operating system, which is how you get like Disney and HBO and Netflix. It was $1,100.
Dang.
Whoa.
Yeah. Cashed out some
Does it now
early
have
IPOs
the
that I
same
hit on.
plug-in or whatever as
Yeah.
like they're supposed every 5 years or so they tell you, hey, this is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
This USB, you won't believe it. Everybody's going to have this in the end. And now it's not even USB-C, or is it?
It's
Is that the one they're going to stick with?
It's USB-C, yeah, the one that you have.
Yeah.
In theory. Because I got from the daughters bought us some phone chargers, but they don't have the plug-in thing. So we got to go buy, and
A converter.
it's a USB-C phone charger, so even the plug-ins I do have lying around, they're all USB.
Useless. Yeah. Yeah, I was already like in the store,
It's like only an extra $30.
kind of going through it, and then I'm like, holy. That's a lot more than I remember a tablet costing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Biden's America.
What's up? Yeah, did you put a little Biden sticker on it?
And it says, I did this. Yeah. Well, because I have like 100 of them left from when gas was expensive, and then it wasn't so expensive anymore. So I didn't know what to do with them.
Dude, I can't wait to talk to you about the book you gave me.
Which was...
I can't put it down. The Marvin Miller book.
Oh, yeah, the biography,
God.
yeah. It's somewhat of an autobiography, I guess. You probably have
Of our lives?
Yeah.
It just feels like there's a lot in there
Yeah.
I'm reading like, oh my gosh.
And it's not 800 pages like Lords of the Realm.
Oh, is it that? Is that? Okay.
Lords of the Realm it's a great book, but it's a long, long hustle.
Okay, well, this one is
You can do this by the time we get back next week.
very eye-opening if you want to hear about. I don't know. It just gave me a lot of vibes of, hey, I've been through some of this.
Sure.
And, I see. Oh, so management will talk to other people to try and get you to persuade. Okay, it's really interesting. Anyway.
So you got some pants, Blake. Is that a new shirt?
No, I've had this shirt.
Okay.
Um,
You didn't get a haircut or any
Does it
hair
look
product
bad?
for Christmas. It just looks like, it doesn't look great.
Well, I know you did because you told me you were going to get your hair cut because you have Christmas photos to take.
I ended up not doing that. She didn't have anything available, and I'm not letting anybody else touch these locks.
I think my New Year's resolution is to
Well, that's not a word.
Resolution is to not let Jake affect me anymore. Because I specifically tried to dress nice to impress him, and then now my hair looks like shit, and I can't please him.
I think you look great.
I can't please him.
smell
I just
And
think,
I need to
a little
stop.
product would.
Why? It's just a little comb over.
I mean,
get a little fluff.
you're an attractive man.
I want you to just say I look okay, and that's
You do.
it.
Your pants
but
look
now
good.
I'm just gonna sit here and think
Your pants look good.
Jake is just staring at me because I don't look good.
For those listening, you could also head over to our YouTube page and check us out today on the video.
You could.
We got Rob and Clay, who just left all their cameras up, which is real creepy
Yeah.
for me to have this whole big camera set up.
I didn't think
in
about
my,
that.
Yeah.
So I had the cleaning lady
Oh no.
was over just yesterday. I hope you guys enjoy the bathroom.
Yeah.
It did
How
look
nice
clean.
it is. But yeah, they were. Cleaning lady will bring her daughters, and very taken aback, especially because I brought them up here and then closed and locked the door behind me.
And turn the lights on.
Yeah,
Turn the overhead
I
light
said,
on.
"Well, here we go."
Yeah.
No. I did. I wonder what you think of this. Kind of an is it racist? Maybe. I gotta take this hat off. That's a tease. Head is just. These lights make it real hot in here. So, I tried speaking Spanish with her.
No. No, you did not.
You know, I used to speak Spanish a long time ago, and I tried telling her that, but then I was stumbling over years ago, and it's like cuando, and I remembered 20, it was like 20 years, but it's probably even more than that. But anyway,
It's a lot more than that.
I tried to speak Spanish to her.
It's more.
I memorized one phrase, which was, I forgot it already, but it was like, "This gift bag is for you." We put together a gift bag of, let's be honest, all the candy and stuff that we've been given.
You didn't want.
We didn't
Yeah.
Yep.
want, and not because it was bad, but a lot of it was, I can't have these cookies here because I will eat them. I walk past the cookie.
No, I've seen
I
you
grab-
with the Eatsies Oreo basket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, my guy's taking such good care of himself, but every time they bring these up here, he's every other break.
Which is the way I operate with, which my kids will lament. You know, that there's nothing in the house. If there was, I'd eat it.
Yeah.
I can't control myself. Like, does an alcoholic leave?
I would think not, no.
Yeah, I'm a foodie.
Yeah, you are. As evidenced by the fact that there were probably half a dozen times where I had to tell you how to pronounce your copy for uppity food items. How did
I'm a basic foodie.
the cleaning folks react to your
Uh,
overtures?
her eyes widened. The whole thing is she has to hand the phone off to daughter if I'm trying to get something across. Scheduling or whatever. And
Sit on the couch.
I've been doing Duolingo is an app.
Are you really?
And it's been something I've been doing certainly throughout, probably even before we started our little break here. Every morning I've added that to my Wordle, the red
Well,
herring.
Just to be clear, our break started 6 days ago.
Right.
So
Well,
it's not like it's
so I've only been doing it for like 2 or 3 weeks.
okay.
Yeah. But it's longer than just our break.
Okay.
So now you're laying in bed for like an hour.
I'm doing that anyway.
All right.
And it was like too much Twitter.
Yeah.
So now I'm just, all right, let me give a Duolingo. Then I'll do, I wanted to have, I think of you every day when I do Immaculate Grid, as just because one of the themes was MVP, and I had to guess an MVP from these certain teams. And then I had to go check myself later and looking at all the MVPs. And I think a fun game is going to be in the future, worst war for any MVP.
That is
in,
not.
Major League
That
Baseball.
doesn't sound like a fun game at all.
I think it's going to be so great. People are going to love to
Yeah.
hear it.
Sweep the nation.
And then Blake's going to guess. I don't know. Was it Cody Bellinger? Nope. No, Blake.
Well, yeah, he did fall off after his MVP year. MVP/Rookie of the Year.
Boy, you know
Early-
what? That was fun.
Upcoming free agent though.
That was fun.
Early glance.
Where could he go?
Early glance, it might be Jeff Burrows,
Oh,
who I think you've learned recently was a Texas Ranger and the first Rangers MVP.
okay.
Oh, you did not learn
No.
it. Now you've learned it recently.
I must have, yes.
2 seconds
I'm
ago.
relearning it. I don't remember that.
It was last week.
Anyway,
a lot going on.
I think it was received well, but again, you never know. They are probably going to receive anything well that I say to them.
Why is that?
Just if you have somebody working for you,
He pays them. Yeah.
generally they're like, yeah, I didn't try this after I paid them. I said before.
Well, I mean, you typically order them pizza, so they're used to your generosity.
My benevolence.
Yeah, for sure. We have somebody coming
That's a word.
on Friday when we're gone, which is the best.
Oh, they just get in the house when you're not there? How?
We have like a punch code door.
Okay, that's good trust you've built up.
That's totally not your kid's birthday.
I have nothing to steal.
Your house is full of the finest. Like you have a new iPad.
Oh, yeah?
The iPad
There you
will
go.
almost certainly be with us. But no, just like the feeling of coming home from
Yeah.
weekend away and your house smells as lemony as it could possibly smell.
Well, mine was a very panicked because she texted me yesterday morning, "Hey, we'll see you at 11." And it was like 9. And then I had to inform the family, "Hey, I forgot. I scheduled the cleaning crew for the day after Christmas." And the place is a war zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And wife, after some initial grumbling and then some realizing, hey, but I'm not having to do the
Do
cleaning.
anything. Yeah.
Did how you got to clean the
Clean for
house
the
before
clean.
you get the clean
Yeah.
house, which was when I was a kid, huge arguments with me and Mom about why do we have to clean the house if the cleaning crew is coming? Because Mom worked or Mom went to school or whatever she was doing. So she said,
You know what? Interestingly enough, my wife was asking me about this the other day. Are you just out on going back home?
Cleveland?
Feels like it's been a long time.
It has. I was supposed to go in August. I went to visit my daughter and had
Like a flight sitch, right?
No, I had a rental car set to drive from Ithaca, New York to Cleveland, which is not that long, I guess. And I was going to hang out there for 4 or 5 days and then head back here. But you may recall marathon sessions with a group of lawyers
That is true. Yeah.
that we thought would be done after one day,
Yeah, that's true.
but then was every day, and I never left New York and had to change my flight and everything because I couldn't just be in the car driving to Cleveland, and even if I was, then once I got there, I'm going to
Yeah.
have to get back to the lawyers. So
I was just thinking about it from the standpoint of 2 kids who go to school away. Like, is that really what they want to do?
no, they
Like, you get
They are
2.5, 3 weeks off, and you're like, all right, well, now we got to go back to this other place.
I will let you know.
Pot.
My wife is heading there,
Oh, really?
leaving on New Year's Eve and coming back
Wow.
a couple days.
Wow.
She's staying like 3 days, I think. Yeah,
Do
so
you have
I'm going
things
to be
planned out?
not yet.
Invite the cleaning team back over?
Because I'm driving daughter 1 over to the airport tonight to head to a bowl game in Jacksonville.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
A destination unlike any other.
Yeah, she's pretty bummed out about that whole scene. It'll be her last ever marching band performance, and I will not be there. See, if she went to San Diego, I would have been like, I got to see.
I got it. I mean,
Yes,
it's the last
right.
game. We got to be there.
But I don't need to go to Jacksonville. What's in Jacksonville besides seeing and be seen?
That is a place to see and be seen. Well, we were in Jacksonville.
How was your little kids? All that, was it great?
It was pretty great, dude.
Because I'm going to tell you, when you get to be older and your kids are college age, Christmas kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there, it's nice, it exists, but when they're little, you could spend $200 on 80 presents and then it's flowing. It's so many presents, and now you have to spend whatever $500 on one present, or iPad level. You know, it's like, oh, I need a computer. Okay, well here's this is $1,500, and you only get one thing is under the tree, and so you can't get a bunch of crap. And this year too, with the whole working on our own taxes and small business, all that kind of stuff, I'm like, I don't want to buy just a bunch of crap that they don't really want.
Yeah.
Whereas I used to kind of do that just to get a bunch of presents wrapped.
I posted a picture of this on social media, but legitimately getting him a child-sized broom was like the best gift he got. Like he's just walking.
Cost?
Probably $15 for the
Awesome.
broom and dustpan.
Right.
Like he's walking around the house just sweeping nothing.
Right.
But he loves it.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, and we actually had a pretty chill. This is the first time I've ever gone a full holiday season without having at least 2 in one day, which I always hate. 2 in one day sucks.
Mm-hmm.
2 Christmases?
Yeah, like
So
we
you
would
do the
2
morning
on Christmas Eve, or we would do 2 on Christmas. You got to get up for one. You finally get the feeling of getting out of that one, and now it's like I'm not done.
Yeah.
There's another one I have to go to. Maybe even the hour break makes it worse. You know, it's like taking a nap that you don't need to take. Like it just puts you down. You're just like, I got to get back up for this. We didn't do that at all. We went to the Gaylord one day. We had people over twice.
Did you go to the ice thing?
No, that
Oh.
was sold out. That sells out fast. Ice skating was sold out, which I was bummed about. I may go by myself later today. Just letting you
ice
guys
skate?
know. Yeah.
Did you sharpen the skates?
No. I took my own skates last year and then couldn't put them on.
What?
I was too embarrassed.
Oh.
It just felt like a douchebag move, like own clubs
Yeah.
and Top Golf guy.
Okay.
I kind of feel that way taking my own bowling ball sometimes.
I love to have my own bowling ball. But then you're expected, boy, you should be
Yeah, you should bowl
bowling
too.
better than 110.
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing. That's the thing.
But I've owned
No,
the bowling ball for a long time. Yeah.
It was really cool.
Got my own bowling shoes, too.
Oh, that's a money saver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they want to charge you like $6 for shoes.
Yeah. Finally have to, or don't have to hide this elf on a shelf anymore. That was
Yeah.
nice.
Ooh.
Snowflake is
Freeing.
dead.
What a
Gone,
beating.
gone and forgotten.
No pews.
No
Okay.
J's on P's. No M's on B's. Yeah, it was cool. Like we put out like little footprints, like by the fireplace. And she's like, "He was here," and I'm like, "You dumb idiot."
We've done the.
I almost just called my wife or my daughter a bitch.
Yeah, well, wait till they get older.
Yeah.
We've done the, half-eaten carrot laying out in the,
Yeah.
in the lawn.
Yep,
'cause
I've seen that. Yep.
That's where the Rudolph or whoever was on the roof dropped the carrot.
Okay. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
funny.
no.
That's how they pay.
I've
him.
got all the tricks.
Yeah. No, yeah, we set out cookies the night before and then
You have to eat half of them.
Yeah.
half.
Oh, okay, well, I would eat a couple, leave crumbs,
Yeah,
make sure to at least keep a lip mark on the milk, which is really, you're going to leave milk out. It does not. It feels like this guy's going to be sick. He's going to be puking by the end of the
especially
night. Just
getting back up into the elevation.
the spoiled milk.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
Like how long?
I've been
is-
there.
Yeah.
Our Santa doesn't waste food.
Okay.
He drinks all the cookies and drinks all the milk. But no, having a young one definitely rejuvenates my Christmas spirit because I actually look forward to presents and him opening it and his, he tears like little bits of pieces at a time, and then is just genuinely excited no matter what it is. No, it's fun. My Christmas sucks. His Christmas is great.
Yeah, but having him
You got new
makes
pants.
yours better
Oh, definitely.
I think.
Yeah.
because
For sure.
ours overall was just, it happened. I think what I should transition into is going somewhere like cool,
That
Yeah.
would be great. I've always been jealous of those people.
like a Hawaii vacation
Mm-hmm.
during Christmas break, and then this is your Christmas. This
That
is your
would be
Christmas
fantastic. Yeah, we went to New York that one time that I've famously told you guys about.
when you guys were older and didn't.
Yeah, we were in high school.
Yeah,
That's when we got
and
in a
you
fight.
weren't ready to tear apart
Yeah, fought in front of a Subaru. It's tough.
Oh,
But it was overall a
Yeah.
great trip.
yeah.
Got to see the Rockettes.
If we ever get your mom on, we'll have to interview her about that
I would prefer that you did not.
because I know she's jealous and wants to be on the pod.
Look at this guy.
Oh, yeah, you didn't mention that.
This was a present for myself.
You've gotten into the world of the Mac. What was your old computer?
Well, no, I had a Mac.
Okay.
But
you go black.
when I started producing y'all's show, that's when I decided to upgrade. And at the time, I got a little MacBook Air because it was sleek and just our audio-wise, it doesn't pull a lot. But I've noticed that whenever we do video and cutting up the video and adding things, like it was very slow. And I think that's why
You're the cut-up video guy.
That's why the YouTube upload was a couple hours after the fact, just because it took so long to just make the video. And so I wanted to upgrade, and turns out Best Buy does like an upgrade program now. And so after 3 years, I can just turn this in and then just roll it into the next Mac.
Okay.
Pay monthly.
Yeah, but because they know they're going to get you for another purchase, you end up saving like $600.
Nice.
So I thought it was a deal. I mean, I could be getting had, but I got a new computer, and I think our YouTube videos will go up sooner.
Okay.
Look at
I guess
that.
we'll test that this afternoon.
Yeah,
Even with his Christmas, he's thinking of the show,
it's all about the show.
you know?
Why are we doing a show today? This is just such bonus content.
I just needed to get out of the house.
Oh, is that why?
I'm going to be
'Cause
totally...
I told you guys, whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I made Blake drive all the way over here. I needed to leave for a little bit. You know what I had to do this morning? I had to... So we have to...
Cunnilingus?
He's been
I don't
obsessed with that
understand
word
why
recently,
you
and I
keep-
don't know why.
mentioning eating out.
I'm just... Technically, I like to term it with technical terms, but I'm just wondering what you guys are doing.
Not that.
Oh, okay.
No.
Nope.
All right.
Were you doing it when you were our age?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've never stopped.
I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
He just takes a break to record.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
other than
sure.
that,
Yeah.
It's like a little, especially a like Christmas morning type thing. Oh, yeah.
that's always been my theory on Bill and Hillary,
Yeah.
that they have sex one time a year.
And it's Christmas.
Yeah, either Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. Like they sit by the fire and there's skulls all over the walls of the people that they've murdered.
Well, based on the way my
Thank you, Rob.
marriage is going, I'm saying they just don't have sex at all.
Yeah, but
Ever.
I
Not
feel like
once
one
a
time a year, you get it going, a little spicy. I don't know. Anyways, this morning, I had to take my dog to get her shots updated at 8 o'clock because we're having her boarded this weekend when we go out of town.
Mm.
And then I had to take her to an interview.
Huh?
I had to drop her off. They're like, I was like, yeah, I'll just wait in the car. They're like, oh, it's going to be an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Is this the boarding place wants to make sure this is
Yeah. I was like, dude, look at the dog.
a dog
Dog's
that
12
won't
years old.
be causing too much trouble?
She doesn't cause any trouble.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I was like, well, what if she fails? Like, what do I do then?
Yeah, do they ever tell people no, we won't do it?
Interestingly enough, I was talking to my brother about this morning, and he said that his ex-girlfriend, he took that dog to an interview once, and they did reject him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess this is
Yeah,
like
like
a
Dak's
normal
dog.
thing
They're
now.
not taking
yeah,
Dak's dog.
Zeke's dog is like
No.
got a rap sheet. So yeah, I had to drop the dog off and
Jeez.
leave it there so they could interrogate it.
We got some mail, like real mail.
Okay.
We do appreciate all the people who are sending us stuff. Just cards. Just
Well,
and
it's
I
still
guess
nice.
if we
Yeah.
ever have a studio. Oh, this is someone that wants to book a 690 remote.
Okay. What's the return address?
Is that up and flying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how is that going? I saw some of that on Twitter that some people were given that for Christmas.
Yeah. I know one. Then we
Oh,
got
and-
a couple more lined up.
And this one is from David, who says, go Gamecocks, but he also says, boys, thanks for all that you do. Per Blake's request, here's $5 for each of you instead of scratch-offs. So,
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Thank
so
you.
hand that over to
Yeah,
Jake.
thanks, man. Huge. Honest
So-
day's work. I noticed that card says
we don't have to write that on, or we don't have to put that
Yeah,
on the thing.
I noticed that card says I hate winter break, which is I believe quite applicable here in Southlake.
And it says under it, said no teacher ever. A little comedy.
That is a little comedy.
Teacher
but
comedy.
Did he write something?
you may be aware that the place
He
where
said F Southlake ISD.
the place where your wife works has demanded that we call it Christmas break.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
I'm right with that, man.
You're
You
okay.
notice I don't have on my outside wall, which I'm very.
that shook you.
So I walk
Right.
outside every night because I walk the dogs,
Doesn't
and
seem like you.
I'm with you.
I like to walk by the Merry Christmas sign that I put up painstakingly. It's very difficult. It's a I can't remember what you call it. It's like a curtain. It's curtain lights.
Yeah.
But during the day, it just looks like a bunch of things hanging down, and at night, it spells Merry Christmas. And you have to tape it onto the wall. And then this year, my wife yelled at me last year because I taped it on the metal grate out there, and then that peeled some paint off. So this year, I had to get twist ties and twist tie it around the grate.
Wow.
And it took, like I said, hours. But one of the so it was very hard for me to find these lights, because I found it a few years ago. I put it up, and one of the old ladies in the neighborhood said to my wife, "I'm glad it says Merry Christmas."
Yeah.
And so I couldn't buy a Happy Holidays one if I
No.
wanted to now.
No, she would have come down here.
Yeah, the Elvis lady would have been mad.
Because, the local older neighborhood ladies enjoy that it says Merry Christmas.
But you were bothered by the idea that none of us could have conceived of you being the one who authored those lights.
I was telling my wife that last night, and she goes, well, let him believe that. Let him believe that I put this up. I'm like, I got to give him something. Everybody thinks I would never do that, and yes, that's my Christmas spirit.
That's
or
great.
holiday spirit.
Yeah, that's just surprising, but good on you.
He used to be Chainsaw Guy.
Yeah, I knew that.
You know, I was thinking about that after we
He's done a
talked.
couple manly things in his life.
We talked to Angela Cataldi because you gave me a chainsaw,
We did.
an
Blake
electric
bought it, but
chainsaw.
yeah.
And I was thinking about the fact that I pulled that out in the studio
Unbelievable.
of the ticket
Yeah,
and
cut a
started
box.
chainsawing a box.
Unbelievable.
And I think now about how that could have gone so wrong.
Yeah. No,
Just
I.
pulled that box into my arm, and
Yeah. No, I mean,
why did I do that?
a chainsaw is not meant for cardboard, first of all.
That
So,
that was
yes.
the Angelo Cataldi story. It was into a
Blow up doll.
blow-up doll,
Yeah,
and
it'll
that just
catch the
swung
chain.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was sitting 5 feet away from you and was like, what is he doing? But hey,
And the fact I didn't get in trouble for that. The
No.
things I did get in trouble for
Yeah.
compared to that. Like,
Yeah.
I should have gotten in trouble for that.
probably so.
was
Yes.
fun.
It was quite a workplace hazard.
It was fun, though.
Do we have to talk Cowboys or can we just act like, we're
Let's
moving
talk
on?
Mavs.
Hey. How about that?
The Cowboys wasn't a terrible thing to...
No.
Didn't you kind of feel it? I guess if we're transitioning into Cowboy talk, it felt moral victory-ish. I guess that's the
Yeah,
thing.
I
You just
mean-
don't want to go to San Francisco and just get killed.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to a contender.
You don't want
and-
to go to Buffalo and get killed, which you did.
right
7
and look
days
like you
before.
don't belong.
Yeah.
If you go somewhere, the Philly game, good
Mm-hmm.
example. You went there. Oh, good. We match up well against this team. Could have won it. Same thing with Miami. Could have won it.
Yeah, I mean, they're what, the 2 seed in the AFC right now? As the Ravens look like the best team in football, or at least the best team in the AFC. By the way, tough night.
Oh. Darn
Tough,
it.
tough night. Not sure that I've ever seen an MVP favorite throw 4 picks
And get benched.
in December and get benched.
He had a stinger.
He did have a
Is that it?
stinger, and 2 of his picks were tipped, but he had a couple of other ducks as well. He's not that good.
He's very good.
Everybody's gonna figure it out.
Jerry Rice has been talking about how he. I wonder if I have that. Did you see the Jerry Rice comments?
I did
No.
not. I did not.
I don't think I have it readily available. He was talking about how he reminds him of
Of old Joe.
Okay.
Oh, Broadway Joe.
from the Windy City. No, yeah, the cowboy thing, I mean, and it's funny too. I don't know if you guys get this. I know Dan doesn't get this. Blake might get this. Where when you have family over, the males, they identify you as guy that they want to bounce cowboy talk off you.
I hate it.
You
And
telling me that I don't get that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many other
I've
people.
worked at a sports radio station for 20 years.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
That's
now,
all I get.
like this last week. Like you're not having family or
Okay,
aunt and
no.
uncle or whatever
It's-
over and grandpa or
But if I do
cousin.
talk to anybody,
Sure, I get that.
I get
Yeah,
cowboy
but
talk.
when you go to wife's side of the family and the extended family, they only know you as sports talk guy, so they just go right to you, and that's all there is.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
when neighborhood party, same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Cowboys. Let's
Okay.
talk Cowboys.
Yeah.
And they-
That's why I tell you, I don't feel the general cowboy feelings are what people in sports radio are echoing or yelling or Twitter.
Well, I might flip that on its head a little bit here because I feel fine about where they are. Yet the 4 or 5 people that I interacted with over the last 3 days were just like, they're cooked. They can't win on the road. Look at the splits. This is the Dak we knew we'd see. You know, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you lose 2 AFC games in a row on the road, and I'm like, man, I don't know. They had the lead. They were up with 3 minutes left on the road against a really good team. I think if that game would have happened the way that it did, but Buffalo had been closer, people wouldn't be freaking out as much. But it's backing up, getting smacked by Buffalo with not being able to finish the job against Miami. I don't know, man. I don't feel any different about them. I think they're going to do the same thing that we knew that they would have to do, even if they would have beat Miami. They're going to have to win on the road against Philadelphia or San Francisco. I did, for a moment, think that Tyrod was actually going to pull it out against
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
I did too. I mean, I guess
that buoyed my confidence briefly that we might have a shot here. But, yeah, outside of that, I mean,
that's the sucky thing, though, is Philly is coming back down to earth, and there was a chance that you could have had the division. And that's the difference of playing at home versus the road. And
But
that's a big deal.
they were still going to have to lose a game. Philly. Right?
Yeah.
And they, have not.
And what do they have on the horizon? They got another Washington game.
I think they have another Giants game, too, don't they?
Is
Yeah.
it Washington then Giants?
No, Cardinals then Giants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're probably not going to lose a game.
Probably not.
Although, what do you make of like blueprint talk? When who was it? Bosa came out after the San Francisco beat Philly, saying, we gave Dallas the blueprint. And then you heard that in the past, I guess, thinking about that because Vic Fangio was on the scene
Bronco.
again, and he
Yeah.
had the blueprint with the Broncos on how to slow down the Cowboys. And again, they slowed them down pretty good throughout that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's probably something to it, but I think it probably ultimately comes down to personnel, right? And, I mean, Chuma Udoga got destroyed the other day. So if you have Tyron, is he giving up 7 pressures the way that his backup did? I mean, how much of a blueprint is that? Now, they're without Jalen Phillips, but they also have
Oh, Purdy lost his left tackle, and I don't hear you saying, "Oh man, but what's he going to do without his left tackle?"
what is this weird obsession you have with
I don't know. It's fun.
KP?
Because he has
Don't you think
50
Purdy-
bucks on him.
I do have money on Purdy,
At great odds, by the way.
Yeah.
although I believe the odds are back to where they were. Just after 1 week, it's really weird how this MVP thing is going.
Yeah. It shifts by the week.
It's kind of like the old way they used to crown the college national champion. You just had to lose your game at the beginning of the year and have a good win heading into the bowl and then win your bowl game. But that's kind of what Purdy lost it the other day.
Yeah.
He absolutely lost
Just like
it.
Dak lost it last week.
But, or do you just say Lamar won it?
I don't think Lamar's won it.
Do you guys love the Lamar narrative right now?
Which is what?
I do.
That any team could have had him?
That any team could have had him, or at least any team could have bid on him and bid the price up. If you really believed that the Ravens were not going to let him go no matter what, you could have just bid.
That's
But
tough, though.
that's the collusion talk.
Yeah, and that's what happens in the NBA a lot, obviously with RFAs. that's a tough spot because PR-wise, that's not a great look.
Well, especially if you have a quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you're
But if you were Carolina, that's a clear and obvious one these days is, hey,
yeah,
Carolina,
Atlanta would have been another, and they were somewhat in on it, but you want to throw him $55 million and then the Ravens match it. It doesn't look great for your franchise. That's a loser type stuff. But
it gets the other franchises mad at you for
driving up the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what collusion is, right?
Yes, Marvin Miller.
But no,
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by looking at that draft. I'm fascinated by looking at all the teams that could have had him. New England had 2 picks in that first round before Lamar Jackson was picked. As a matter of fact, Baltimore had another pick in the first round.
Yeah, that's what's funny about it.
Didn't they take a tight end?
Yes.
Hayden Hurst,
Yes.
I think.
They did.
So, yeah.
Who's not the tight end that they ended up actually keeping from that draft because they took Mark Andrews in the 3rd round.
Right. That's actually a great draft for them.
Yeah. Man, I remember there was a lot of talk because that was after a very bad Dak year 2.
I was absolutely thinking that myself. I remember we talked about it.
The receivers were terrible, and I remember actually talking to Jeff Kavanaugh about this one time, and he's like, "Dude, they just got to do it. They just have to take him."
The point on Lamar was that's who he was in college.
Oh yeah,
He hasn't then all of a sudden become something. He was a one-man show in college.
Mm-hmm.
He would change the fortunes of your franchise for sure.
At a small school, too.
Wasn't that small, right? Louisville?
yeah, but I mean, he won
He's
the
not-
Heisman.
Yeah, from Louisville.
Yeah, but still, dude.
If he's doing that at Georgia, it's one thing, but to take Louisville where he took him, that's special.
Yeah, no, that's a good
okay.
point.
You're saying that's even better, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, there was still people that wanted him to play receiver.
Yeah.
So there was
Pretty few, but
it wasn't clear cut. But
that's still a narrative, yeah.
I remember at the time thinking this would be insane. Like Dak's rookie of the year, he had one down year. Now they're going to take another quarterback, but they could have done it. I mean, they took LVE at the middle 1st round.
That's the thing. You look at all the players that were taken, just all the spares.
There are quite a few.
And, if you're one who lament Trubisky, I could have had Mahomes or something, just think of all the teams that could have had. He's going to be a 2-time MVP now.
Yeah.
And probably get bounced in the playoffs. And
Yeah, because that's also his thing.
it'd be cool to see the Browns face him. Joe Flacco versus his old team.
Dude, Flacco was dealing yesterday.
Flacco has never – I think Flacco's last 3 games are
300 yards each.
he's never had a 3-game stretch in his career.
And
Yeah.
I don't know how much of the game y'all have watched, but he looks good. Like the ball's coming out of there. His deep balls are good. He's got a good rapport with Amari Cooper.
Dude, when
How?
he had that full rollout to the left and squared his shoulders up and found Amari deep, I'm like, what?
Yeah. He still has a
Where
little
did that
something.
come from? Yeah, it's pretty awesome
And
to see
Amari
Amari
still looks
Cooper.
great. Yeah.
Amari Cooper. You guys remember him?
Yeah, I do.
I still hate his face mask, though. He's always looking up through it.
Yeah, it's tight. He looks
It's
pressed.
it's very up. He's just looking up.
Anyways, they'll be fine.
Cowboys?
What, we got a Saturday night game this week?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Saturday ESPN.
Who? I'm not even remember. I'm blanking out.
Detroit.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
right. Detroit won the division.
They did. That's a huge deal, man. I'm happy for them. From the Hard Knocks journey to just slightly knowing.
Will Dan Campbell win? That'd be a good matchup, too. I heard someone mention this. The Rams-Detroit in the playoffs. That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
But, yeah, that is a good stuff. I still can't watch highlights of Detroit or watch Detroit and really take Goff seriously.
Why?
I don't know. He just doesn't look – I don't know. He doesn't look like my quarterback,
I mean, is it just because his team didn't want him?
I don't know. He's just slight. He's just not. He doesn't look like a field general. He looks like Jared Goff. you know, but
You know what's weird is I
Obviously he's
sort of
playing
know what you mean,
yeah,
but
like Dak looks like a field general.
okay.
Dak
What
looks-
about Purdy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not really,
yeah.
but he's putting up the numbers.
He's
yeah,
been fine.
Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year, or Stefanski, Coach of the Year?
Oh yeah, Jimmy Ring of Honors this Saturday, as Clayton points out.
That's right, the rushed Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
For the Netflix
for Netflix.
show.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the only game that day.
Okay.
So we got a Thursday night Jets Browns, and then Saturday
Gross.
Lions Cowboys. Yeah, it is gross.
You asked Coach of the Year, Campbell or Stefanski?
Yeah.
I'd probably go Campbell. I mean, Stefanski is very impressive season, just given that what his quarterback situation has been. But Detroit in the playoffs, won the division.
Chubb out week 1. The quarterback, 4 quarterbacks, including the last one, who
Yeah.
nobody wanted, and I still can't believe he's doing what he's doing. And they're 10-5.
Defense has been really good.
I don't know how updated this is, but I'm seeing D'Amico Ryans as the number 2 best odds.
Interesting.
That's a great one too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but they have Stefanski on here at 6. D'Amico Ryans, Shane Steichen, Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin Stefanski.
what do you see for comeback player of the year? We've talked about this before, but
It's not a conversation.
the last I saw was still DeMar Hamlin.
And it will be DeMar Hamlin.
He's
It's got to be Flacco.
he's dressed for like 4 games.
It doesn't. He came back from death.
But to do what?
Flacco came back from.
He would only.
Nothing.
It might be that death is the only thing that keeps him on the roster. Like
yes,
they couldn't
we've
cut
said
him
all
this
of
year.
this.
What about Baker?
What
It's-
about Baker, dude?
You could do second place comeback player of the year, and that would be a better conversation. But as soon as DeMar Hamlin put a helmet on this year, he won the award.
Let me look at the playoffs today.
Oh, wow. How do we make it
Because-
this long?
Well, because the Cowboys would be facing the Buccaneers in Tampa. Are you feeling good about that? The way Baker's been playing.
Yes, still.
It would be very Cowboys.
It would be very Cowboys, but it's Tampa
Does
Bay,
Mike
dude.
McCarthy survive?
No.
No,
They lose at Tampa
no.
in
I
a
don't think
shootout.
What?
45-43. Because now what are you going to do? You're going to keep the guy that
The guy
that
who
has-
his defense just got run through?
yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, but no, I don't think he sees the day after Black Monday if that happens.
Boy, that'd be delicious.
Why do you want that to happen?
I'm just saying it'd be delicious. I would like the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl every year and win every game.
No one believes you. Russ
That'd
got,
be fun.
Russ got benched. Did you guys see that?
Oh, no.
They said for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, they're
Wow.
going Stidham.
Are they gonna try
See,
and
what I
get-
do is when you try to like position the Cowboys as like feckless and like down in the dumps, I try to bring up another team that has ruined their franchise with a horrible trade and extension.
that they have.
Jared Stidham, 5 years, $243 million for Russ, and he is
Well,
not going-
and what'd they give up for him?
yeah, quite a bit. And he will not see the field again this year.
And I guess that was the argument against trying to go after Lamar. Yeah, I guess you need nuance. You need context in these arguments that are online because you just read like the one line. It's like, yeah, why didn't anybody go after Lamar? And you
Oh,
talk about it a little bit
gut my team.
because you also then, have to pay him
Yeah.
the most money ever, and you don't get that first few years of whatever.
So I think we asked or talked about this a little bit after, like, okay, so Stafford gets traded to the Rams, immediately wins the Super Bowl, and then we wondered, what is this Stafford effect going to do? But we've seen Russ not work out. We've seen Watson not work out.
I thought did Stafford follow Brady? Like Brady was first, right?
Yes.
But you're right as far
Okay.
as the comp there is a big trade.
Yeah.
Save your quarterback.
But the Brady thing, I guess, was more of a, hey, I'm going to go get Matt Ryan now because he was just in a bad spot. And I'm going to go get this quarterback who was just in a bad spot. But I think they both go together a little bit in that Denver thought, I'm a quarterback away.
Mm-hmm.
All I need is the right quarterback. Tampa was just they just needed the right quarterback.
Cleveland.
You've been saying that in Cleveland for a long time.
Oh.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that's the most chips they've ever thrown at it. And felt like, hey, we got a good defense. We're going to give this guy $250 million.
Jets, same thing this year?
Jets.
So how many have to not work out before people stop doing this bit? Because the only guy at Aaron Rodgers type age is Brady. Stafford was just still in would you call it the prime of his career, or still
Pretty close.
very effective. So Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, those things are more of the Tom Brady model, and the Stafford is more of I guess that's just the, hey, I'll give up a ton of stuff to get this most important position there.
And that's why when everybody complains this offseason, when they get beat, the Cowboys get beat in the second round of the playoffs, and they offer Dak an extension worth $50 million a year, you're just going to have to bite down hard and take it. Because even if you make a play for one of these, former All-Pros, 35% hit rate, who are you going to go get? You just got to do it. You just have to do it. You have no choice.
You know what's scary is
It doesn't. You know what? It doesn't even matter if he wins a playoff game. He's getting $50 million this offseason.
Yeah.
Per year.
What's scary is Kyle Shanahan wanted Stafford in that trade,
I know.
and that would have been that would have been bad.
It's a funny thing, too, if you think about the 49ers and all the talk about how quarterback-proof his system is and all the skill position talent that they have, but they made an insane trade to move up to get Trey Lance, and they were the final bidders at the table with the Rams for Stafford. So on one hand, it's like, yeah, I mean, you've proven you can do this with Garoppolo, who's not good. You've proven you can do it with Purdy, who I think is very average. I mean, if nothing else, NFL evaluators thought of him as a late to undraftable player, and they're succeeding. So it's like, does he not see it the way that everyone else does? Like, speaking of Kyle Shanahan, it's weird, right? Like, they were ready to give Stafford a monumental contract, and he just chose the Rams. They gave everything away to go get a quarterback in the draft.
Remind me of that.
Oh, that was a big, yeah. That was I've heard Shanahan.
So Stafford got to choose where he went?
Pretty much, yeah.
And I want to say it came from a podcast that
The two
had
of them together.
McVay and Shanahan on, and McVay was gloating about getting his guy, and Shanahan was visibly upset because of how close they were.
Because they're good friends. And so, yeah, Shanahan was like, I thought we had this done. And McVay's like, nope. I got it done.
Because he saw him in the Bahamas
I think it was
somewhere.
Cabo or something.
Somewhere exotic.
Yeah. Remember whenever you were obsessed with his wife's podcast? That was a fun era. I loved that.
It was just because she threw a pretzel at someone.
Yeah,
I was listening again this year
Not as good.
to an episode. Well, I guess there was a controversy. I just never brought it to you guys. There was like a stripper or something at one of the games. I don't know. I'll find it for you. I'll debut the new year
You've piqued my interest.
with Kelly Stafford. Let me write that down.
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff that I
producing
just
on the air.
don't get to, as you know. Kelly Stafford audio. What was your sports viewing like on Christmas? And did the NBA take a hit? How about the NFL just coming in with their big 12-pounder laying it on the table going, oh, okay. Oh, the NBA has their little tradition, their Christmas Day games?
I kind of hate it.
They're the USA.
Yeah.
This is what I would argue with Bob about, with like Mexico would want to win the World Cup or a soccer game, and he'd be like, no, we got to win.
Let them have it.
Give them this. We have everything.
Yeah.
Mexico, like that's all they have. They love soccer. This is let them have that dominance over us. No, we have to go dominate soccer too. Let the other world powers have soccer. No, America has to be great at everything. The USA, I should say.
Well, fortunately, the Mavs was super late, so that I didn't watch really any other NBA. My brother and I watched football pretty much the whole day.
But if there was NBA, you would have watched it.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if
But-
there was no football, I should say.
Correct. Yes, I would have just instead. I'm watching the Chiefs blow it against the Raiders and
Let me find the ratings.
pulling for Tommy DeVito.
It was a destruction, right? Ratings-wise?
Oh, it had to be, and especially with Ravens Niners at night. Like, come on,
How about the Raiders beating the Chiefs?
it was weird. It was a weird game.
The Raiders
The Chiefs look terrible right
lost 3-0 one game.
Mm-hmm.
Then they scored 60-some points.
now. Mm-hmm. All the Chargers got a coach fired.
Got a coach fired. Then they beat the Chiefs. 29 million. Raiders Chiefs. They were on Nickelodeon.
They were,
Remember, we used to do that bit too.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah.
Raiders Christmas game on CBS and Nickelodeon.
Fuzzy with the stats a little bit there, but sure.
They're calling it the most watched Christmas Day game since 1989.
How many have there been?
That's probably a good point.
it's such a PR move.
So the discussion now is, what are they going to do next year when Christmas is on Wednesday? And there are a lot of people that think that they will play games on Christmas, like they want to have Christmas.
The NBA, okay, so across the 3 games, the NFL averaged 22.9 million.
Jeez.
You want to guess the NBA? Can you come within?
Do you have an average of all the games you're saying?
Yes.
4?
Yeah.
5?
4.27.
Yeah.
Dang.
I'm not surprised.
The second lowest rated NBA Christmas Day in the past 5. Okay,
That's very I drink your milkshake.
yeah.
Like, you had a thing, we want your thing. And I mean, Mavs Suns is it's a big game. There's a lot of star power there. It's a rivalry. I mean, it was on at 10:30 on the East Coast, but still, you would think that could juice up the sports fan masses a little bit. But nobody gives a shit whenever the NFL's playing. They just don't. I mean, I barely did. I
about-
only watched that game.
How about Luka not even caring that Kyrie's not here? He's all right. We'll go ahead and win games. I'll just score 50.
You know what? They need Derek Lively more than they need Kyrie.
Yeah.
Like, when he's out there, they have a legitimate shot to beat anybody. There's 50 and 15, and then
The bad
my
message there
19-year-old
is
center has 20.
tanking works.
They're 2
Sort
for
of.
2.
Sort
Kind
of.
of.
Sort of.
2 for 2?
They tank for Luca.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, I know. I was in the arena 41 nights for that.
Here's Raymond Felton.
Oh, my God. So much Raymond Felton.
Elton Brand and Chris Kaman.
In my Mavs post-game career. Well, Kaman didn't have it tonight, folks. He has
Yeah.
5 fouls and 4 points.
But boy, does Vince Carter look great in his old age.
Oh, man. That was a tough road.
And maybe
Oh.
Roddy B can get it going.
Okay. Leave me alone.
Should we trade Roddy B?
Untouchable.
Yeah, I really think he'll blossom here at some point.
Antoine Rigaudot or something.
Man, I remember getting so obsessed over the Sarge.
Oh, Bernard James?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Dude, he was in the military.
He's not backing down from anyone.
He's got it. Just like grasping at every
Man, what
single
a-
possible straw I
What
could.
a sad sliver of
Hey,
history
dude, look,
that
O.J.
was.
Mayo's averaging 19
I
points a
loved
game through
O.J.
the first 2
Mayo.
weeks of the season. Anyways, you want to do some news or something, or what do you got?
I just wanted to look at another Lamar Jackson note. A couple. Have you seen Lamar Jackson? Okay, 20-3 against the NFC in his career. I heard this the other day on a gambling podcast when they were talking about possible games to pick, and I should have gone for it.
What is this guy doing?
Dude, he's listening to Kelly Stafford's podcast, gambling podcast. He's doing Duolingo.
I'm a podcast guy.
Duolingo.
His record, okay, so 20-3 against the NFC. 1 in 3 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 aga When he is an underdog, he's 19-5 against the spread. And none of us were jumping on Lamar Jackson including me. I was like, not against San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? I mean, I joke about
Every
Purdy.
time.
I don't think he's anywhere near an MVP caliber player, but
Lamar Jackson?
No, Purdy. I'm just saying
Oh.
you're not going to get that game out of him too many times. I feel like if those two teams play 10 times, maybe Baltimore gets 6, but they're not going to thump them like that every time. That's the two best teams in the league. I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
With the Cowboys being a close third.
Before we do news and stuff, I'm just fascinated by this as well. The Justin Fields story. What do they do?
Yeah.
Because he actually had a pretty good game. Well, of course, who'd they play? Arizona.
Yeah, but he's been good for a couple weeks now. Good-ish, anyways. Yeah.
So do you
I mean, I would have traded him before this year.
knowing that I've got the Carolina pick and our pick next year?
Yeah.
And now we can tank. Maybe we'll get 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's kind of working out pretty well for them because since he's playing well, his value is increasing. But on the other hand, everyone knows that if you're trying to trade him, you have to trade him. So your ROI is getting tanked a little bit by the idea of, like, everyone knows you're going to have to take 60 cents on the dollar by moving him. Unless you want to make a wide receiver the number 1 overall pick and take Marvin Harrison Jr., see if you can make this thing work.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then take a tackle with pick 7 or 8. Give him a little help because their offensive line is trash.
Or do you consider trading the pick for multiple firsts?
Yeah.
That would be option 3.
From the other team that needs.
Just keep pushing them back.
Yeah. And then next year have a shot at the number 1 quarterback again, perhaps.
Yeah, turn into the Thunder of the NFL.
You know what's tough about it for them is the Daniel Jones contract. Because Daniel Jones sucks. We all agree?
Yeah. Yes.
Justin Fields is not taking less than Daniel Jones. So if he has one more year next year, similar to the one that he had this year, which is average, now you have to pay him $40 million a year.
Yeah, but the guarantees and all that, I think they can kind of get out of Daniel Jones, but still you're paying.
Yeah, it's not Deshaun Watson.
What did we do with Baker's contract? He signed a 1-year deal last year.
Yeah, I think he's earned almost like all of his incentives, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, he had a win the division incentive, I know.
Yeah, I think he had like 8. It's like an $8 million deal total if he hits them all.
they're going to have to pay him something because they're not going to be picking high enough to pick a quarterback. What are you going to do? You're going to replace Baker with the 5th best quarterback in the draft? You can't do that. He's room guy. They're going to have to pay him like $25 million a year.
It does seem that, I don't know, maybe I got to hold my tongue for a minute, but it kind of seems that, let's say you decided not to pay Dak $50. Like, there are guys, because you get up against the gun so quickly.
Yeah,
with your
it
quarterback
takes about 2 years.
To make the decision.
Yeah.
And there are guys you can win with. And I guess I'm going recency bias looking at Baker, but
I don't know. I think you're going a little far here. Dak is still really, really good.
bring Bailey Zappi in here. And
No, we're not going to bring Bailey Zappi in here. No. They have a quarterback that they picked.
But Heineke.
Okay, move on.
see what
This is
Heineke's
nonsense.
doing out there. I guess we'll wait and see if he can actually beat Baker in the playoffs.
But if you pay Dak $50, who's walking? Obviously, you're keeping Micah and CD. Can you keep Bland?
Probably not. Get Diggs back.
Rathman.
Give it to Rathman.
You just
can
had
do
that-
too. Yeah.
that cadence.
Yeah. This is an extremely low energy, lazy episode. I just want to point that out to everyone. I'm trying to.
Well, it is bonus, right?
It is bonus.
All right. Well, let's take a break, and then we'll pick it up on the other side.
It's still a bump.
I gotta tell you, boys, I couldn't be more excited about this jump. When people hear me describing it over the radio, they are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
I used to be #1 in this town, but people don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
Now, Rod, I've spent the station's last $15,000 on this, so it has to be a big success. Do you understand?
You can count on me, sir.
Excellent. This is the big one, boys. This is the one that brings us back. Soon, AM radio will reign king once more.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
All right. Did you guys watch any Christmas stuff? Oops.
Trying to remember.
Like, do you have Elf?
Yeah, Brooks hammered Elf.
Yeah.
He really liked. We watched Rudolph a couple more times after the initial viewing.
Oh, okay.
He likes Rudolph.
He likes Rudolph.
And the Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch.
Oh, I can't do it.
You just don't like the Grinch overall?
Yeah, just not in any form.
Cartoon? No?
Not a Dr. Seuss fan at all.
Mm.
There is a Trolls Christmas. Trolls is a series of children's movies, Dan. I think we might be going to see one of them in the theater tonight.
The hair?
Yeah.
Those things?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Okay.
Trolls Christmas. I don't think we did any. Oh, I relented and finally showed her Home Alone. We started it about a week ago, and there was a lot of asses and hells in the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know about this. But
Man.
I finally was just like, let's just do it. I'll talk her through it.
Why don't you start the 80s Bad News Bears with her?
Yeah. No,
Man.
I recall once upon a time that you did that, and you ran through every slur in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's an N-word in the first 10 minutes of that movie.
Ouch.
Yeah, spoken by an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And then so I had to talk to my 6-year-old. Okay.
There's a lot of words that people are going to
there's
say you don't
words
say.
Begin with F. Those
Those are not that big of a deal.
They are. I mean, you're going to get in trouble, but
Here's the one.
there's one. Not even like
Bad at it.
I thought it was fine.
it's. It's what I deserve. Here, so Clayton was telling us during the break there, which was only a minute for some, but for us, many minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to. So if we ever, I've been thinking a lot about our future because our future is on the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's in front of us, and we're closer to it every day. And the future is, are we going to video every day? Are we going to podcast? Are we going to have ad-supported I think that's at least in our head, right? We're going to be accepting ads at some point in the future.
Sure.
Pretty soon. So watch your email if you've emailed us. But
No one's saying watch your email.
what was I just thinking that we're
Well,
gonna
maybe
do
you
in
do
the
for
future?
Hotmail. Maybe they don't have
Oh,
push
during our future
notifications yet.
breaks.
and
Yeah, you
especially,
have to-
if we do like a live show and we have a break. Right now, we're all using the bathroom. It's a 10-minute break, but then it only seems like a minute. We're going to need because I know live reads are a big part of our future possibly.
Sure.
And if the whole break is live, when are we going to have a break where I can just leave? Because I have to leave every day at some
Well,
point.
I mean,
Because I'm drinking a gallon a day.
That's good.
and I'm drinking a half gallon before noon.
I try to do the same. But if some of our recent episodes have been any indication, you'll just get up.
Yeah, well,
So I don't know that it's
during your
it hasn't seemed to really impede you to this point.
well, you guys carry on a really compelling conversation,
Hey, thanks.
which is the whole thing.
Back to the video.
So Clayton was telling me, or us, so the Kelly Stafford thing I was talking about, it was rapper Blueface.
I got nothing. I've heard of him, but
No.
yeah.
Okay. Apparently brought strippers to the game in L.A., and his suite was right next to Kelly Stafford's suite. Clayton said it was right next to Kelly's box, and I thought, that's come on, dude. Do we need to be saying that
Yeah.
about such a fine woman as Kelly Stafford? Anyway, here, can we pull this up, Clayton? Here's a little TMZ video
Sure.
for you.
That's
So
a
that-
fact for sure.
So this is what had Kelly Stafford up in arms.
And is it because it's in portrait mode and not landscape?
See, that's what I would be upset about.
Yeah, and he's right there at the end zone, so similar to the Cowboys on-field suites. It's right there. Yeah.
Oh, and they left. Oh, wait.
Now he's throwing money to the other patrons in the crowd.
I got y'all. Hold on.
They're sitting front row at an NFL game. I don't know if they need it.
In this economy,
But these transaction fees.
that's really something.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
That's good, clean American fun. I don't know what Kelly Stafford has a problem with.
I bought my tickets. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Well, I say this. Royalty free.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
We're still going with the holiday bed.
Gentlemen, we are 2 years and 1 day removed from the strangest crime that I think has been committed during our time together.
Man.
The 17-year-old Garland teen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That occurred on December 26, 2021.
The kid that got away?
Yeah.
Dad
Prison.
Took the
in
rap.
prison?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turned himself in the next morning.
Boy, I don't know if I'm doing that, man.
I know.
I'm already tired of them not just kind of being on their own more now. And
I mean, he probably
siphoning all
was
the
going to
money
be in
out of my
trouble either
account.
way. So, like, I guess what you're saying is that maybe if he turns the kid in, he gets a lighter sentence, the dad. But, I mean, the dad was basically the getaway driver. If you don't recall, kid walks into a convenience store and shoots 3 people.
Does that change
all
it?
teenagers.
Change it for you at all? Like,
There's 3 dead people. Like, it ain't. It's a pretty serious thing.
let's say 20 years on
I
your
don't know if
own.
I could turn him in. That seems hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
I mean, if you
taking
don't,
the rap for him.
well, I mean, I think the way that this probably worked was they probably asked the dad, "Where's your son?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he probably could have told them he's here, and that would have reduced the father's sentence because the father got charged with capital murder.
Then they have surveillance video of
Yeah.
him high-fiving the kid.
No, I don't know that he
Gun.
did he
Fist bump.
dapped him up or anything, but he did speed away out of the parking lot.
Tires squeal.
Probably so, yeah. So
I
this is
love
the
that on
2-year
TV.
anniversary, and NBC5 caught up with the families at the grave sites, which feels like maybe let him be.
Yeah.
I know you need a story, but how does it feel to stare at this place where your 14-year-old dead child is entombed?
Oh, the victims' families. Okay, yeah, that makes
because the
sense.
anniversary was yesterday.
Okay.
So 2 years ago yesterday.
And, yeah, that's interesting.
He's gone. And I don't believe that it is racial profiling at all for us to speculate that he's gone to another country.
I think he's just hoping none of his relatives do 23andMe.
Yeah, probably so, yeah.
If they even have his.
Well, you still got to find him.
Well, they obviously have the dad's DNA.
Yeah.
Is that part of when you get booked now?
It's a good question. There's probably some laws against that, I would imagine.
I'm watching the new season of Fargo, which is really good.
I think I've seen the first 2.
Oh, really?
Pretty weird, dude. I
So
like it.
The fingerprint thing is
very creepy.
What gets her, and there's a Home Alone vibe in there as well.
Yeah.
A lot of fun Easter eggs if you can follow the Coen brothers' past movies. I just watched episode 5, I think, this morning, and there was a little Raising Arizona stuff in there.
They'll do that on you.
Have they called Dot a tiger yet? In yours?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Dorothy Dot is a tiger.
Small plane crashes into home in East Texas. This happened yesterday, killing the pilot. I always get this wrong. Do you want to learn to fly a helicopter or a small plane?
Helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm done with helicopter for the rest of my life.
For
We
some
talked about
reason, I
this a
feel
little
like
bit
that's
ago.
safer.
Yeah, and I think we looked it up, and it's
not.
It's not. But yeah, I think.
I don't know if I have that in me anymore, though.
Yeah? What was the sweet spot?
I don't know.
You said this 2 years ago.
I know. I've had a rough 2 years.
It's been
COVID.
a rough 2 years.
Sorry.
Yeah, plane crashes into the side of a home
We still have an out.
in Van Zandt County.
You said you would be a helicopter pilot before Johnny Manziel went pro.
In golf.
Okay.
So
You've got a little.
That was a good bet for
Yes,
me to
it
make.
was. Is this just because everyone has a phone now, or are more small planes crashing more?
Man, I don't know. This is a Junior Miller theory, and I think I'm with him. It seems like, as a guy who looks at all the local news websites every day, that this is happening all the time. I think it's probably that.
More people can fly now?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a lowering of standards or if they're, rich people just found this hobby over the last 10, 15 years, but I feel like it happens all the time now. I swear to God, it's once a week. Now, it's not always into a house. Typically, it's like lands on freeway or lands in field. No one was home when the crash happened. No other.
Well, it's
injuries
happening
have
in
been reported.
houses now because they used to be fields.
They used to be fields. That's right.
There's less fields now.
It's true. It's true. It was on a
I went up in a small one. My Uncle Omar was a pilot. And I just went up over our hometown. He took me a couple times.
Was it cool?
It was pretty cool. I couldn't recognize anything. I'd probably be better at it now since I look at Google Earth.
And helicopter, you
do?
Definitely can recognize things.
You never look at Google Earth? Isn't it fun?
Can't say that I do.
Oh, I do.
You can get on your street. You can turn. Go down the street.
Just 'cause?
Yeah, you can see your house, and oh my gosh, this is before the tree.
I'll do
fell
it
down
for
or whatever.
wars.
Like now, you'll look at.
Yeah, because some of them are live. What you're talking about is the car. Like the car puts that all
Street
together.
view.
But there are some websites you can go to, like when the Ukraine thing was popping off, I would just go watch the war.
Dang.
It's all, you can watch pretty much all war now. It's pretty tight, actually.
I'll check out a buddy's house.
Yeah.
A friend of mine bought a new house in Cleveland. Check it out.
Zoom in on the bedroom window.
I don't think it works like that.
Oh.
It's not like live.
He knows that because he's tried.
Will that be the future?
That's how you'll
be able to live see everyone's house?
To some degree, I would not be surprised, yeah. This is a weird story. A family was on a trip to Dallas for Christmas. Don't ask me why. That makes no sense to me. And they were kicked out of their
Depends
Airbnb.
where they're from.
Yeah, right? I don't know. It seems like they were all coming together from different places in Texas. 14 family members from different states rented out 4 Dallas Airbnbs early Christmas morning. One of the men's 12-year-old niece found crystal meth, a crack pipe, and drug money.
Merry Christmas.
They're sure it's drug money?
Well, I feel like when you find the money and the drugs are there, the money's going to have a tough time defending itself as not drug money.
Just feels like that's harsh. this money is just sitting there. All of a sudden, it gets labeled with drug money.
So they contact the Airbnb host, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Get out. You're kicked out."
Who contacted them?
The people who were renting the home. They're like, "Hey, we found some meth, a crack pipe, and some money." And they're like, "Wow, that's crazy. Leave the house now. You're kicked out."
Okay, well, I don't get it then.
Yeah, I mean,
You're an Airbnb owner. If
Yeah,
somebody
I mean,
called you and said, "I found a crack pipe in your house," would you say you have to leave?
No, I would not, unless I was a drug dealer.
Oh, that's what's going on.
And I
Okay.
wanted to be like, I don't want this to get any further.
Hey, you shouldn't have found my crack pipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, they should have handled it a different way then.
Yeah, you would think. Like, hey, we'll come by, we'll pick
Oh
it
my
up.
God,
You know what?
that's-
It must have been the past
Yeah,
tenants.
yeah. Easy.
Can I give you a discount?
It's an easy lie.
You know what? I'll waive the cleaning fee.
Ooh.
We've had to waive a few cleaning fees.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of something that you didn't have right?
Yeah, like there's a leak. It's not. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. I think it should probably be illegal for me to own a second home, like tax-wise. But as long as they're going to let it happen, the same way as me owning a gun, I shouldn't be able to own a gun.
So do you put in there that
But
you
if they're going to let it happen, I'm going to have a gun.
Yeah. Do you put in there that you have to like take out the garbage and the recycling and all this?
No.
And then also slap on a cleaning fee? Like
No, we're very.
every place I stay, it says you got to strip the bed down.
No,
and
we don't
put
do
it
any
in
of
the washing machine.
No, we're
and
very chill.
do all the dishes. Like, and then here's a $250 cleaning fee. Like a higher cleaning fee than I pay for this house.
Yeah.
For this tiny little Airbnb.
We don't do that.
Okay. Well, then I'd like to stay at your
We
place.
super serve. But
Plus
I mean,
you got that buffet in the back.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the only time, and I didn't even kick those people out. They elected to leave out of embarrassment.
Would you like to tell that story here on this holiday week? Because I did get an email.
Okay.
See if I can find it.
This is Dan looking through paperwork.
Somebody had a well. The gist of it is they wanted this. Damn it! I'm not really well prepared today.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is that pretty evident?
Just be happy we're here, you know?
Okay, thanks. Yeah, somebody who just wants to know the story about Jake's Lake House.
Yeah.
I could have said that without.
Yeah, that took you way too long. I mean, I was already prepared to do the story.
Hey, Uncle Hotmail.
Okay, he found it, folks. He found it.
So, by the way, I'm looking at myself now.
Now he's sidetracked already.
I'm looking at myself on video. If you're just tuning in, you're not just tuning in, you've been listening.
Mm-hmm.
You know that we're on video. Also over on YouTube.com.
No one's saying .youtube.com either.
www.
HTTP colon.
But so you were saying yesterday we're talking about maybe doing a calendar still. I know it's a little late.
Yep.
But we got some good ideas and we just haven't had the time. And luckily you saved me from having to tell Rob I didn't want to do the calendar tomorrow. The reason I don't want to do it is I hate the way I look. I got my full face shaved. I went to the barber to Victoria, and I want my beard to grow back.
Fair.
And
I think you look nice.
I
but-
always make fun of you for your vanity and your vanity lights, and
your
I
little
got to
ring
get a
light.
haircut and all this kind of stuff. And now I just kind of don't want to do the calendar looking like this. Although I don't look that bad. Now that I look at myself, I think the camera loves me. Hey, Uncle Hotmail, day one DTF here. DTF DF here. Get it?
Yeah.
Wondering if you could all get, if y'all could get Jake to do a retell of the Lake House story. I used to listen to you on the ticket, but I came too late to hear that story. It's referenced all the time. I've always wondered what happened to the furniture there. Thanks. Topher, parentheses, short for Christopher. Yeah, Jake, make fun of my name.
It's not horrible.
I've never really even thought of. I've heard of Topher Grace.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That 70 show?
I never thought of that as short for Christopher. That makes a lot of sense.
I wonder if it is.
More than Jack is short for.
Yeah, it's Christopher. Yeah.
Wait, what's Jack short for?
What?
Jonathan? John? Yeah.
William Bill's the one that always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Jake's Lake House story.
Yeah, we have.
Mark this down, and then if anybody ever needs it, we can direct them to here. Kind of like we need to figure out where we did the no puppet story.
Yeah,
in our past, because people ask for.
We,
retelling of
meaning
that.
mostly my wife, bought a rental property out at Lake Granbury. When we bought it, it was trash. We bought it very, very cheap. We remodeled it ourselves over the course of about a year and a half. It was a big deal for my wife.
You bought it for 5 figs, right?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, we just like kept, putting money into it. It was a lot. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. She enjoyed it. Then we started renting it out on Airbnb. For the most part, pretty uneventful. You very rarely have to talk to the people who are there. You schedule the cleaning person, and you put their names in an app so that they can get through the guard check. That's it. We don't talk to them much. But there was one instance a few years ago where it was I remember this like it was yesterday. It was a Sunday evening, and my wife was like, "Hey, these people are calling me. Something's going on at the lake. I can't deal with it right now. I need you to call them." So where we are situated on this lake, it's not on the main body. It's on a canal. Blake's been there. It's like it's a canal where most of what happens there is happening in the backyard facing the canal. The front yard is just the front yard, but you hang out in the backyard. There's a canal which faces other people's backyards on the other side of the canal, right? Hopefully I'm painting this picture properly.
Yeah.
And there's a house across and one to the left, and they were calling me saying, "Hey, I saw something happening in your backyard last night, and I need to talk to you about it." I was like, "Oh, okay." And this is like a 75-year-old woman. And she's like, who's staying at your house right now? Like, are you there? I'm like, "No, it's rented out right now." She's like, "Well, do you know the people?" I'm like, "I do not." I didn't even really know, like, the makeup of the group that was staying there. I had not gotten that information from my wife yet. And she's like, "Well, I don't really know how to say this." She's like, "But my daughter was outside last night around 2 a.m. smoking a cigarette, and she saw a woman eating another woman out while a man masturbated next to them."
God, dude.
And that's exactly what she said.
A grandma said this to you.
Yeah.
A 75-year-old lady.
She might have first said performing oral sex.
Okay.
And then I think she said she was eating her out. And there was a man masturbating. And I was like, whoa, there's no way that's true. She was like, "Well, why don't you call them and check with them?" So I hang up with her.
And could you see, you could see across the canal at 2 a.m.? Like, it's not too dark?
We have floodlights.
Okay.
And the people across the way have a boat. So they have, their whole scene lit up.
Boy, what a phone call to make.
Yeah.
What an allegation.
Yeah. And she was like, "This is a problem." She's like, my grandkids were here this weekend, and whatever. Like, you need to talk to your renters. And I was like, let me confirm that this happened first. So I asked my wife, I'm like, "Who's staying at the lake right now? Like, do I need to go out there?"
Yes.
Can I join?
What's going on out there?
Is it a Blueface?
So she's like, "Well, it's a lady who's probably early 30s, her kids," and then she's like, "I think she said that her mom's boyfriend, and 2 of their friends were going to be there with them." And I'm like, "Well, we have a problem." So I tell her what the lady said. I call the lady who rented the house. She was probably like 30. And I'm like, "Listen, I don't know what you got going on out there." I was like, this is super uncomfortable. I was like, "But I just got a call from my neighbor about something they saw last night." She's like, "Absolutely not." She was like, "I'm here with my boyfriend and my 3-year-old. She was like, "And we went to bed, at 10 o'clock. And I was like, "Well, who else is there?" She's like, "Well, it's my mom, her boyfriend, and then a couple that they're friends with." And I'm like, "Well, you may want to ask them what they were doing in the middle of the night last night." I was like,
So the 30-year-old's mom.
Yeah. She rented it for her parents.
Who's low end 50.
Yeah. And I was
Probably
like,
about 60.
"I'm just going to lay the cards on the goddamn table here for you, okay?"
And you told her exactly what the old lady said?
Yeah. And she was like, "Absolutely not." She was like, "There's no way." I'm like, "Well, okay, this is coming from somewhere."
Yeah. What if somebody called you and said the same thing?
So
about your mom?
I called the neighbor back, after I get off the phone with her, and I'm like, listen, the lady who's in the house, she said she was in bed. She was in bed with her kid. This didn't happen. And the lady's like, oh, why don't you pull up your text messages? I'm like, okay. And she sent me like 3 photos of a woman who was had her hands up on like a wrought iron picnic table, circular, and there was a woman eating her out from the back, and there was a guy just cranking it like right next to him.
Was it a 60-year-old lady?
It was an older. They were older. I can tell you that. It was not the lady who was staying there.
It was her mom.
It was her mom.
Okay.
I never really confirmed if the guy was her mom's boyfriend or her friend's boyfriend.
Right. So one guy was left out.
He was left out.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or at least he was out of frame.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know for sure, but he was not in the picture.
So she took pictures with her cell phone.
The neighbor's daughter.
Person
did.
who was smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
You still have these pictures?
Somewhere, yeah. But I mean, I think it's like illegal for me to transmit them.
Can't you put them up on
No,
the,
I cannot.
Actually, we're doing a YouTube thing here.
I cannot.
There's no way that's copyrighted.
And so, I called her back, the daughter. And I'm like, listen, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm not saying it was you, but I have proof that there were people, effing around in the backyard last night, and my neighbor's pissed about it. The neighbor was threatening to call the HOA. Like, she was like, this is, there's no place for this. Because it's basically like your front yard.
Right, yeah.
Like, it really is kind of your front yard back there.
That's...
And she was like, she was threatening me, and I was doing, like, full damage control. And I didn't even have to get to, I'm going to kick you out, because she hung up, and then she called me back. And she was like borderline in tears.
Did you send her the picture?
Yes. Yeah.
And she's like,
"That's my mom." Yeah. And they were set to stay at least through that night. I think even Monday night. And she was like, "We're leaving." I was like, "Okay, cool." It was one of the wildest things that's ever happened to me, pound for pound. And I called the lady back. I was like, "They're gone. If you ever have," and she chilled out. The older lady chilled out once they left. A lot going on out there, Bubs.
Man.
Yeah.
These are like extremely normal-looking people too. Like, this is not Blueface. These are not strippers. This is like, Tarrant County suburban moms that just were out at the lake.
Yeah, I need to
had
know.
Some drinks.
I want to know a lot more.
The daughter's asleep. There's there's a toddler in the house.
Because when you watch porn, you think, all right, this is porn.
Yeah,
it's not real. These things don't happen.
Yeah,
but they do.
They definitely do. They definitely do. I mean,
you might not want to go outside under a floodlight.
Yeah, that was a. But I mean, again, if the way
it's the rush,
it is the rush, and the way our house is set up out there, like there are a lot of beds, but there's not a lot of space.
And how does it start? Like, is it the guy kind of directing things?
It probably wasn't.
And that's
the first
me
time.
being a sexist, right? Thinking the women can't just want to do this on their own, but the guy's like, hey, let's do that thing we stumbled upon a while back, and now that we do it at different places.
We've been texting about for the last 3 months when we booked this place. I mean, it was, I don't know. And then, the weirdest part, and people bring this up all the time, because I told this story first to TC. And then, I don't remember. It was 3 or 4 months later, we were out there with my family and TC's family. And he's like, this is the table. And everybody knew the story at that point. It's like all my friends were like, did you clean? I'm like, yeah, I cleaned it. Of course I did. But
why? Yeah, I would mark it where Pete Rose got his famous hit.
Yeah.
There's a yellow square there.
Kennedy X.
But everybody,
the Kennedy
everybody
X.
comments on it every single time we go to that table. Like, yeah, this is where it happened.
We should do a show from that table.
That's easily done, Blake. Yeah.
Jake just has to give us $6.90.
And the weird thing too is and I've looked at these photos a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not because they're hot, just because I was super intrigued.
Yeah.
How hot are they?
Not that.
Well, it's like your Google Earth thing. Jake's been at that table, and now look what's going on there.
But it's 60-year-old lady with
Yeah, but it was probably early 50s.
55-year-old lady, 55-year-old guy
Yeah.
next to her, and as hot as you think that would be.
Like she
like
had,
even the hottest 55-year-old. I should take that back. The hottest would be pretty good, but
yeah, for sure. She had like a skirt on, but like clearly no underwear.
yeah.
So she just had like the skirt lifted up like on her back, and the
Yeah.
other chick is like almost on her knees.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
It all comes back to cunnilingus.
yeah, and he.
Oh, I'm sorry I interrupted. What were you?
He was fully nude. Like in my backyard, you know? Like he was not.
CFNM. Is
Yes,
what we're
it was a
talking about here.
CFNM situation. Yes,
You know what that is, Blake?
Huh?
CFNM.
Clothed female? Something?
clothed male, nude female. You can switch them around too.
That's CMNF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he like aiming at him?
I mean, it was a photo, you know, it was a still shot, but I mean, he was pointed in that direction, you know. I mean, he wasn't
Looking away.
looking at the canal, you know. Yeah, I mean that all 100% happened. And like, you know, the funny thing about it too is, and I probably shouldn't say this, but because my mom listens to the podcast sometimes now.
Have you already told her this story?
Yeah, she definitely knows.
But in different terms.
Because here's the way. I told her, and she was like, why don't you tell people to mind their own business? She was like, they rented the property. I was like, Jesus.
Nice.
They're on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was most people's reaction was, what's the big deal?
Yeah, like show me. We've got some good lawyers. Let's take a look at that homeowners association, you know.
Yeah, the bylaws.
Bylaws. You can't kick us out of here.
No, and like I said, fortunately, unlike with Crack Pipe family, I did not have to kick her out.
Oh, that's
because
right. We were in the middle of the crack pipe
She was
story.
so like shell shocked that she just left. I mean, that's going to be tough to recover from.
Yeah.
That's
You got visual evidence. You
I
got
would-
a narrative.
That
arc.
might be the person I'd like to interview.
Yeah.
The daughter
Yeah.
I want to talk to every one of them.
who received this call. You still have their contact info.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a few years, but we could definitely find it.
Where does she do it?
No.
Let's
No
book
way.
her. Who'd you want to book the other day? Oh, the guy that Wemby stepped on.
Yeah.
Are we getting him?
We're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I want this lady instead.
Okay. You want
All
this lady or the Mets parachute guy?
Ooh.
We got that? You got a
No,
hook
but
on the hook?
That was the last one. That was the last big fish you threw my way.
Okay. And then what do? Just remember him and don't do anything about it?
All right, there's your
How do I
deuce.
find
Oh.
one name, a guy from New York? I can't just search his name and then parachute guy. Oh, here's his.
I'll bet he's famous. I'll bet there's a
His
Where Are
face
They
is
Now?
Easily. Yeah, you're probably on Cameo.
Okay, then how do you get in contact with him?
Well, that's your
That's,
job.
yeah, I'm the guy
That's what I'm
just
saying. That's
doing
the
all the gold.
roadblock. You're the guy doing the gold.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy with the eating out stories.
So in 1974,
Why didn't you play a close?
don't really have one with the
Okay.
Christmas version.
Okay, well, the regular one would, yeah, whatever.
That might be getting us flagged for, like it might be a copyright piece of. That's why I'm using this new thing, and we're gonna have new stuff in
Okay.
2024. It's a whole new thing,
Okay.
whole new ball game. 1974, Jeff Burrows wins the MVP. 3.6 WAR.
Why are we doing this?
So if you're kind of searching through and you're like, oh my gosh, how terrible WAR this one year. Freddie Freeman, 3.3 WAR. It was 2020, the COVID year.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they played like
60
3 games. Yeah. So in that COVID year, he almost had the same WAR as Jeff Burrows in 1974, 3.6 WAR. But that is not the worst WAR for any league MVP. I'm going to give you
God's name did
1992.
he win this MVP?
Who? Jeff Burrows?
Yeah.
What was his numbers?
Was it 73 or 74? 'Cause those are the
74.
Only 2 good years he had. I mean, he hit 301, slugged 504.
30 homers?
25. But still, man, that is a That is not an MVP.
Let me give you 1992 Dennis Eckersley. 2.9 WAR. 51 saves, a 1.91 ERA as they changed the meaning of the closer position.
It was kind of a novelty, in a sense.
Are you looking at it right now?
I was looking at
MVP
Burrows.
list or no?
No, I was looking at Burrows.
All right, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it, guys?
That's so nuts.
Well, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, somewhere in the 90s, or was it 84, there was another reliever. Willie Hernandez of Detroit had 32 saves, a 1.92 ERA. However, his WAR was 4.8 that year. So I'm thinking Dennis Eckersley. Possibly the worst MVP ever.
That would check out.
Talk to your friends.
Yeah.
About that.
New Year's Eve is coming up.
That's right. That'll be a fun New Year's Eve topic.
Man, Justin Morneau won an MVP. That's crazy. That's all I have. I was just.
Oh, okay. I want to do this.
Today in history.
I do have a listener birthday from Kay. Shout out to fellow 69 lovers' birthday. He is also a fan of big-teed tattooed MILFs.
That's not that unique of a position.
So much that he married one. Happy birthday to Jenkins, first name Bo. All right?
My brother in arms.
That is from Kay, or possibly Kevin. Today is Wednesday, December 27th. It's currently 2:01 in the p.m. as we record this.
It's pretty useless info.
What do we got, about a hour and a half in so far?
Yes.
And this is how we're ending? Or you got another bit?
I'm sorry I made y'all work today.
We're recording today because he wanted to get out of the house.
That's true. So that's why
So ask
I
him.
wanted to super serve.
Ask him.
And you told your wife, look,
With the guys
Small
really.
business.
the guys
They're hammering me.
the guys are up my ass. I mean, come on, small businessman, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we've never done, we've done iterations of this segment in the past, many years. Never on this date
That would make sense.
have we done any birthdays, any today in history. On this
Completely
date in
fresh.
1984, free agent pitcher Ed Whitson was signed by the Yankees. 5-year, $4.4 million. He went 14-8 for the Padres in the previous season. The Padres, who ended up taking on those Detroit Tigers in the World Series, Blake, when Willie Hernandez won the MVP.
Awesome.
That's right. Anyway, this interested me because it says here, by the middle of the second year with the Yankees, he was so rattled in New York that he could only pitch on the road. And the Yankees ended up trading him back to San Diego, where he had 4 pretty good years. But that used to be a thing we'd hear of. You remember Kenny Rogers?
Yeah.
Did you know about that? He went to the Yankees and just couldn't take the bright lights, the big city, the pressure, the media, all that kind of stuff, and just couldn't perform.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I don't remember because he's been on so many teams now. At some point with old Greinke.
Really?
Yeah, he had major anxiety, and
Wow, because he's so good.
he's a weird cat.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just
I wouldn't think he would have that at all.
I
He
can't
seems
remember.
to be able to.
It might have been
lock
whenever he
everything
signed with the Dodgers.
Maybe.
But the Yankees were making a big play for him, and he's like, "No, it ain't happening." Even for more money, and you might think "Oh, you're just gonna go to L.A." That ain't the same.
up. Do you like the Rangers fans' reaction to the Dodgers? Oh,
Oh, good.
just got to buy your team, huh?
That's quite funny. Yes.
I'm also loving the Rangers have more wins since October than the Detroit Pistons.
That's a good one.
It's also very funny.
Hilarious.
That's all I have.
Do you like Shohei buying Joe Kelly's wife a Porsche?
I did like that.
Buying.
Yeah, he ain't.
Oh,
He's an
Porsche.
endorser.
Porsche gave him one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Joe Kelly's wife was real big on social media trying to recruit Shohei because I guess he wore the same number and they were offering his number.
Yeah.
Offering whatever.
It's probably great to have your wife be super online.
Well,
that doesn't.
It'd probably be great if your wife would just show up with a new car.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a one-way
Bad
street.
trade-off?
One-way ticket to Chris Benoit land, if you know what I'm saying, Clayton.
But now, what if your wife also does a
That's
podcast
when you kill your
on the
family,
side?
Dan.
That's
podcast on the side would be great, too.
That's a Shane, right?
Family meeting. We can't get this guy to watch that show. We can't get him to watch anything. You know, when I first started producing his show, I watched all the shit that he liked.
Like what?
Raising Arizona. That was a big one. Several other things.
Took him a long time to watch Boyhood.
Boyhood was a bit, but I did end up watching it. The Larry Sanders Show, one season. So I got PTSD.
Larry Sanders Show is very good. I'm also taking a re-swim through 30 Rock, and I think both you guys would love it.
Boy, a lot of 30 Rock discourse over the last couple days.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are they getting canceled?
I don't think so. I think, and this is probably a deeper conversation than we really want to have right now, but there's some people that were positing the idea that, like, hey, y'all aren't ready to hear this, but this show's racist, and Tracy Morgan's character's racist. And interestingly enough, there were a lot of people on what I would say is black Twitter weighing in, being like, you don't get it. Like, his character, like, is a proxy for the way that people of color are treated in Hollywood. Like, Liz and whatever Alec Baldwin's character's name is, they're the racists. Like, if anything. Like, so they're making fun of this entire thing, and it just kind of turned into this conversation about, like, how white liberals can't joke about race anymore because they're afraid. Because they're pussies.
There's something there.
Yeah, there definitely is. And that's, I don't know, I saw 130 Rock tweets over the last 48 hours.
It's a very good show. I think you guys would like it. It's only 21 minutes per episode, too, so.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll pitch it. On this day in 2016, Carrie Fisher died. You know who that is?
Star Wars?
That's right. Princess Leia.
Mark that, Beth.
She died at the age of 60. She was a Hollywood, she was a Nepo baby, you might say. Her mother was somebody named Debbie Reynolds, who apparently was quite famous back in the day. Debbie Reynolds died the next day.
I don't know she was married to Paul Simon for a year.
Today's birthdays.
That went nowhere.
Yeah.
No, I saw that this morning too, and I thought that's pretty interesting.
I don't know
Sometimes
what I was expecting.
Kind of
really,
let it
but wash
wave,
over,
wash over people,
Yeah,
and they
for sure.
just nod.
Yep.
How do you like those pictures that Rob brought?
Love it.
Anything worth showing the camera?
Yeah, I mean, hand him over.
This was.
You look like a youthful young lad.
This was back in what? 1999? 2000? I can't see. I can't read that. Anyway, it was when back in the very, very old days of the ticket, there was a show called Bob and Dan. And the rest of the ticket went to the Super Bowl. And Bob and Dan were new, so it was kind of like, well, these guys haven't earned it yet. So they let us go to the NHL All-Star game.
As spare as it gets.
Man.
And apparently we went to Toronto, and Rob was our engineer. And yeah, which is the one you want to look at? Is this the Bob and Dan with Gump Worsley, perhaps? Should we have tested this previously? So you guys were just remarking that I had hair game.
Yeah, no, you had a nice head of hair. Like, Bob was obviously already bald.
This is also this is also the era of The sideburns were shrinking, but they were still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like my sideburns?
You sort of did a gradual move with those. It was not a one-day.
I believe this
lop
is
off.
Bobby Hull, right? Oh. Here's a Bobby Hull picture. Bobby Hull's brother? I don't know.
That's also a hilarious shirt.
Yeah, some ESPN shirt from Chicago.
Is that what I'm
It's
wearing?
From the ESPN zone.
Yeah. And there's me being
Came
all
free
hot.
with some buffalo wings and cheese sticks or something.
definitely.
The monkey picture isn't in here, huh? Oh, that's a different year. That was Colorado. Yeah. All right. Bobby Orr? I'm not impressed by that. We're just here to see me.
He's over it.
What else happened?
Elsewhere in birthdays, couple of big NFL birthdays. I'll lead up to the big one. We have Greg Zuerlein, former Cowboy kicker, 36.
Watermelon kick.
Game-winning field goal this weekend, right?
Did he?
Yeah.
For who?
Did he?
Yeah. Hit a game-winning 54-yarder. I can't remember. I can't even remember who he plays for.
I thought he got cut by the Jets.
He kicked a field goal this weekend, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Am I high?
You're not.
For who?
The Jets.
They brought him back?
You can't get rid of Greg the Leg. Running back Nick Chubb is 28. Jamal Charles,
Dang. What could have been?
Man,
37.
you want to talk about unstoppable video game player.
Deuce McAllister is 45. A lot of running backs on this day. What do you make of that?
Nothing. Although
20
this is like an athlete. It's September to December, right?
Yeah.
That's
What
the
was-
time to be born?
What was the book?
Outliers.
That's right. And it's because you're the older kid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you're born now, you're in the same leagues as people that were born next month,
Yeah.
January.
Yeah. So for me,
But you were born a year ago.
and this has always been my excuse. I was born in early August, and my brother was born in the middle of September. So we were only 2.5 years apart, but we were 4 grades apart. And he was always way bigger. And, like, I remember whenever I was a freshman in college thinking, like, and I was playing, flag or whatever, like, damn, I'm a lot bigger than I was last year. Like, just one more year, and that's the age he was, Like, I didn't drive until I was, like, a senior. I could have been a contender, is what I'm telling you. Don't have your kid be born in the summer. Unless you want to just straight hold him back, which you can do.
Which you can do. And then also you have I think one of my daughters is in that summer area, and the decision was, well, she's really, ready for
That's what happened to me. I was like, well,
first grade now. She's reading at a really high level and all this. But then the thought is, but do we want her going to college when she's still 17?
If I had known, I would have started playing dumb. Because I effed up and was, kind of smart when I was 5.
Yeah, and then
It left me eventually.
You
but
can
at the
level
time,
out.
Yeah.
But any of those are some pretty good football players that I have mentioned already.
Yeah.
What about this, though? 24 years old today. Brock Purdy.
Of course. It was either going to be Tom Rathman or Brock Purdy. It's the only 2 choices.
The great Brock Purdy.
Still lives at home. Do you like the story that C-Mac had to
No,
buy
I don't.
all of his Christmas gifts because he only makes $870,000 a year?
No, that's
Like,
dumb.
okay, lop off 40% generously for your agent. It's not that much, but let's say the taxes agent, your take home is $500. And Christian McCaffrey has to buy your family their presents.
What about just keep being the quarterback you are, and you're probably going to get $40 million a year.
Get a credit card, you chump.
Did you see what Luca bought the team?
No.
These little Mercedes-Benz e-bikes.
Ooh,
that
Dan.
That can get up to 25 miles an hour.
Nice.
And he had them all laid out in the locker room, and all the team got to walk in and ride them around. It was a really cool video. The Mavs social media account has been really good this year.
Shout out to our homies.
They'll do like a
Machine and
little
Company.
question of the day when they're getting on the team plane, and they're always really funny.
Did you see Mahomes? Dan is doubting you, but I know what you're talking about. It's funny to see
What?
Mahomes
I just want to hear one of these funny.
hook up the whole
I'll
offensive
send
line.
you one.
You know, and then
That's a common quarterback thing to do.
it is, but I feel like sometimes you hit the whole offense.
No.
Like when Dak bought the John Deere's, I'm almost positive he got Zeke one. But Kadarius Toney ain't getting shit from Mahomes.
That's true.
Not happening, bud.
Do they miss Bieniemy?
I mean, that's definitely what people have been saying. I think they miss.
You know what people have been saying. Do you like that other discourse about the Chiefs? It's what you
Taylor
mean.
Swift.
Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
it's all Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that was a tough look the other day.
Like then it's okay, look at these grown men who are they don't want to blame a front office or lack of receivers. They want to blame this
Instinctively
lady who
blaming
started
women.
going games.
Yeah.
Former Ranger Cole Hamels is 40. I don't really remember the Cole Hamels era very well, but apparently he was a Ranger.
Yeah, for like 4 years, right? 3?
I think they traded for him, and then he had another year after that.
Okay.
But he was an opening day starter against Houston one year. That I think he gave up a leadoff home run to George Springer.
That is correct.
Blake has gone to every opening day
I know.
I have.
since he was like a baby. Professional wrestler Goldberg is 57.
Man, that was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
The spear.
He wore nothing but like a black thong thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think I cried when his win streak broke.
Aw.
Yeah, it was tough. It was the only reason I watched WCW.
Goldberg?
Yeah.
John Amos is 84. He's Cleo McDowell in Coming to America.
Ugh.
That was a funny open the other day.
Nobody.
Country singer. Hey, now it's okay if I stop
Yeah.
in the middle of that word. Nobody's going crazy.
Yeah.
Country singer Walker Hayes is 44. Is that our guy?
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Well, I have
That's
his
the
number.
Applebee's guy?
Let's watch a Cowboys game with him.
Hey,
Put him
man.
down. Let's put him on the list.
We know he's a football fan, right?
Yeah,
That's
didn't
what
he
At
try to-
Arrowhead.
try to get into sports with us?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's invite Walker Hayes.
Applebee's on a dead night. On a
Also,
late night.
the most country music star sounding name ever.
Oh, yeah.
Did he say that's his real name?
Yes.
I think he's one of two people we got on the show based solely on his name. And the other one was Steel Walker.
Yeah. The Steel Walker
Who Jake
era
was
ended.
obsessed with for some reason.
He was funny.
for a week.
Just trying to help your show.
Hey man, I think this could be our Rangers friend.
We've had every Walker except the one that we want.
That's true.
We've had Ty Walker,
Yep.
but we've never had Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Paul Walker.
Well,
We also haven't had him, but we're probably not getting him. And Savannah Guthrie is 52. She delivers the news to
sort
me
of. On the
every
weekend.
evening.
Yeah.
No, she's a weekday.
Yeah, I know. I just thought you got caught up on the weekend.
Oh, yeah. My wife will
Yeah.
roll through all her Today shows.
You think Matt Lauer ever did anything offensive to her?
He certainly thought about it because I know I have. Born on this day.
Good grief.
What? Nice looking lady.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to think about violating her in a legal fashion.
No, very legally I would violate her. I would ask her consent
That's
to,
not typically referred to as violating.
to go to the lake house. I just want to sit there.
You want to be the guy?
Yeah. She could sit there with Hoda or whoever. I don't know. I probably want to do a fill-in. Wait for
For dry dock.
wait till Hoda's on vacation, but Savannah Guthrie's still here. Louis Pasteur
Milk.
invented pasteurization, and just this weekend, or yesterday when I'm putting this together, I thought, That's why it's called pasteurization, because the guy's name is Pasteur. So what does that mean? To pasteurize milk.
Keep it from going bad.
No one knows. That's the point.
Nobody knows.
China. She's dead.
She is.
She was a wrestler.
She had a penis-sized clitoris.
Man,
It's true. There's a sex
We've
tape.
been so NSFW today.
Clayton's seen it.
Write that down for the description. So if people are like, oh, okay, cool. I'm
What's on today's show?
driving around with my kid on the holidays. I didn't know the Dumb Zone was going to drop a...
Okay, those are medical terms. There's nothing wrong with that.
No one.
Just like cunnilingus is.
She was in a sex tape.
Okay,
and
but when you're
the
going
first thing
for
that jumps out at you, no pun intended, is you're like, wow.
okay, but on no
That
scale of how
thing's
big
giant.
that is penis size at the top.
Well,
No one
It's-
says that.
especially because that's very wide range there.
Good point.
It's just you had to double take it for a moment and say like, oh, is this a female?
Would that be a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see a nude dude. Two, just one.
And Heather O'Rourke, this is her birthday. She was the little girl in Poltergeist.
Man, I've seen that movie one time, and I will never watch it again. Yeah, aren't there a bunch of stories about like?
Put the China video up.
No, don't.
Well, then we'll really get flagged.
Weren't there a bunch of stories about like creepy stuff that happened to people who worked on that movie?
I believe so.
And it's probably all a myth, but it was enough to scare me off.
Died on this day, we have Stephen F. Austin. F stands for?
Francis?
Thought you guys were Texans. Fuller.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Norman Schwarzkopf.
Storm and Norman. Chris Farley.
I just saw that this weekend.
Really? First time?
Or no, wait. Who was the old Speaker of the House? Republican. Tip O'Neill?
Tip O'Neill was a Speaker of the House, yes.
During the Chris Farley era of SNL?
That sounds right.
So I saw a video where Chris Farley, when Tip O'Neill took over as Speaker of the House, like search Chris Farley, Tip O'Neill. He comes in as Tip O'Neill and does like 8 minutes of comedy to the House of Representatives. And the thing was just like remember when politics was kind of fun?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was ever, I mean, I guess that's more fun than, now. Chris Farley's fun. Add Chris Farley to anything.
Yeah, it's kind of from the makers of the White House press, the correspondence dinner. That always seemed really weird to me, and I thought it was super badass that Trump was like, no. Get out of here, nerds. I don't want this.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything that you've just done for years.
Yeah, but no. We want to hire Jon Stewart. Like, no, nerds. Tough break.
Boy, the Norm Macdonald White House correspondence thing is legendary.
Gold. In fact, Trump actually, I believe, became president because of one of those.
Yeah.
Is it Seth Meyers?
I thought it was Obama.
Obama's definitely up there making fun of him. I just can't remember who the comedian was. But when Obama starts just roasting Trump, everyone is laughing except Trump. And a lot of people are like...
Like it was 2012 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or in
one of
that
those
era?
years, yeah, in the
before
2016.
2016?
Yeah, in that administration, yeah. And Trump just like sits there not cracking a smile at all. He's just getting made fun of, and it's clear that like that's not something that happens to him very often. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to start telling people you're not from America. Then I'm going to be president. Twice.
You're predicting here?
Yeah.
Put some money down?
Not yet. I'm snake bit.
On the Cowboys?
No, on
political.
Yeah, I just don't need to touch it.
Meadowlark Lemon died on this day.
Globetrotters indeed.
Were you a Globe? I'm always interested in I feel like you've said this before. You and I seem to have shared history, even though we have the same number of years apart as you and Blake, but Blake is like not. He didn't live the same life you did, but I grew up. Absolutely had to go to the Globetrotters game. Absolutely conversations on the playground about what if they were in the NBA.
They're at least threatening.
They're one of the better teams.
Yeah. No, I've seen the Globetrotters 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I've seen them a couple times, and definitely thought, wow, they never lose.
And then I took my kids.
They're still cooking, man.
It was fun.
I met a friend of a friend who plays for him, and it's just like in your early 20s or mid-20s, you get to travel all over the world. They pay for everything. You're not making a ton of money, but it's just like, okay, go hoop and go to Japan, give it to Rathman.
Because I think when they started, they were actually a good team.
Yeah.
Was it pre
Yes.
NBA integration?
Yeah.
And died on this day in 2019, we have Don Imus, who all I know is that he was a shock jock who Howard Stern hated.
Yeah, he had some comments on female college basketball players once upon a time.
That they were nappy-haired.
Yeah, I think he called them hoes, too.
Nappy-headed hose, yeah.
Okay. So, again, hey, I want a shock jock to work for me.
Yeah.
And then he says something shocking. And you take a look at the ratings, and you take a look at his salary, and you say, you know what? That's now too shocking.
The too shocking meter is in the red.
Yeah. All right.
And that was Today in History.
You have any closing remarks?
I like your pants.
Me? No. Thank you.
Did closing remarks once. Now, all of a sudden, you don't want to do it anymore.
I did?
I don't know.
I know Dave Raymond was great. KJ's was great. I thought that was a guest thing.
Are these the closing remarks?
Yeah. I don't have anything.
Well, you know when I'm going to see you?
Next year?
No puppet.
Adios, mofo.